Ladies and gentlemen, today we have Justice Subodh Shah. He is a retired justice from the High Court of Gujarat. Justice Shah has, after retiring from the High Court of Gujarat, he is acting as a consultant and arbitrator in domestic arbitration. And we are pleased to have Sir today as one of our chief guests to flag and to sponsor our organization Legal National. So, sir, the topic for the day for the viewers is that the policy on appointment of advocates with senior experience as judicial members of various tribunals. So, as we know, sir, that just recently both the houses of the Parliament has approved this law called Tribunal, Appellate Tribunal, and other authorities called Senior Experience and other conditions of service members rules 2020. So, sir, to start off a discussion on the topic, what are your views on passing of such laws?
Before starting, I would like to quote one line of the Supreme Court judgment in the case of Madras Bar Association versus Union of India. It was basically, I think your entire interview is based upon this judgment.
Exactly.
And the last line of this judgment in writ petition number civil number 804 of 2020 is, I will quote it. The Supreme Court has in last para said, the government is accordingly directed to strictly adhere to directions given above and not force the petitioner, Madras Bar Association, which has been relentless in its efforts to ensure judicial independence of the tribunals, to knock the doors of this court again. So, the entire gimmick or entire concept of this new enactment or rule or everything is probably highlighted in this one line, that Supreme Court has again and again praised the state means the government, to ensure judicial independency and to ensure judicial independency of tribunals also. And if you check these directions referred by this in this paragraph, the same paragraph in paragraph 53, Supreme Court has said that let there be advocates more than 10 years practice to be selected as a judicial member of the tribunal. Now, with reference to this background, if you check your question, it is where you want to say that my views on this recently amended tribunal, appellate tribunal and other authorities, qualification, experience and other conditions of service of members rules 2020. Have you gone through it? Probably in this rule also, government has not added the selection of advocates having more than 10 years standing. This is surprising. In fact, you have rightly raised this question in this interview that the tribunals are generally working or functioning with retired judges or officers of the government who are selected by the government. No doubt, for judicial members of the tribunal, there is a committee where Supreme Court judge or judges from the High Court are member. But since they are in minority, practically the judges who are in good book of government would be selected as a member of the tribunal, and therefore practically tribunals do not and could not work properly. So instead of those retired judges, if fresh advocates are selected from bar, as they are selected for High Court judges or for a district court, why they should not be selected for tribunal also? So I am certainly in favor of selecting advocates having more than 10 years of practice as a judicial member of any tribunal. But before we move to any other questions, let us consider that what is the in and outs or what is the tribunals are. Practically, you must be aware that after emergency, when election of the then Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi was declared unconstitutional or illegal, and when emergency was there, the government has started to take away the powers of the judiciary on different subjects and created different tribunals and selected persons of their own choice in these tribunals. This is the base of this entire dispute. So, in my personal view, though I am in favor of selecting advocates as a member of judicial member of the tribunal, the best way to cope up with the entire scenario, independency of judicial system and speed in judicial system. I am of the opinion that let there be all tribunals be demolished and let there be a pre-emergency situation where every dispute is coming to the court, and let there be a maximum number of judges in court where advocates are directly selected as a judge. So entire issue will be solved. Yes. Next.
Rightly. So, like, coming from that question, sir, like as you rightly said, that you're in favor of advocates 10 years experience acting as a judge. So, do you think in the current times where there are a lot of youngsters, who opt for law firm jobs or probably an in-house counsel job, such kind of amendments or laws will encourage the youngsters to take up judicial duties?
Certainly, because in fact, I have seen that before 30-40 years when I started practice, generally nobody select to or opt to go on judicial services for different reasons. Social detachment, salaries are not good, service conditions were very worst, house residential premises were not provided to judges, car were not there. You will surprised to note it when I joined judiciary in 1997. You will not believe this, that in a month, if we ask for a second pencil, our accountant would say that you will get in next month only, but there is no budget. In 97, we can't have a second pencil in a month. Now scenario is changed. Since 2006 to 2012, when I was in Supreme Court on deputation for computerization of entire judiciary, in background of computerization of judiciary, where for installation of computers we need good infrastructure, we initiated entire project to make the infrastructure of judiciary in better condition. And central government has sanctioned 5,000 crore for infrastructure. So now some courts are like a corporate house. Particularly in Gujarat, even district courts are better than High Court. They are just like a corporate house. So now things are changed. Now advocates should come forward to join judicial services. And therefore, in previous question I have said that let there be only one set of institution, which is the judiciary, the courts, for any kind of judicial dispute. There should be no tribunal or no any quasi-judicial authorities, and let there be a maximum judges coming from legal fraternity. So more advocate would be get more job, and they would be in a better position to interpret the law.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So one thing is, like, absolutely crystal clear to my mind, asking first and second question. One thing for sure that you are absolutely pro the advocate, with 10 years experience joining the bar, So one thing
sure, certainly.
Yes, sir. So that brings me to my third question, sir, which is also my personal apprehension. Is that, don't you think, passing of such laws, where they say that minimum 10 years experience is required, so a person who is wanting to join judicial duty, as soon as he or she attains 10 years, no matter if he or she has an expertise in the particular field, say, for example, there's an appointment for narcotics matter or a prevention of money laundering matter. So I think, sir, because judges like you, sir, you have studied your whole life to become a judge. You have such a vast knowledge of subject. But an advocate with 10 years experience coming and joining the bar with just 10 years of experience, do you think is sufficient?
I think example of cricket would be more better. Whether Sachin Tendulkar become Sachin Tendulkar when he played first match? No. So no, on day one, everybody is a young or new or without experience. Therefore, when we say for a higher judiciary, say for a district court general practices, minimum 7 years practice. For High Court, above 45 means at least 15 years or more practice. The fresh law graduates are selected as a judicial officer, JMFC first class only.
Yes.
Where more experience may not be necessary. And after joining the judiciary now, because of the judgment by Supreme Court, practically they are being given 2 years training. If JMFC is selected in a judiciary as a judge, he will be given a training continuously for 2 years. But so far as advocates who are directly selected as a district judge or a High Court judge, this is what you can say, comparing two apples. Even two apples can never be equal. But if you want to compare an apple with orange, it will never be equal. So if a High Court judge An advocate can be High Court judge, and advocate can be a Supreme Court judge. You must have seen for last 10 years or at least 5-6 years, directly advocates are being selected as a judge. I, with respect and with due respect to all the judges present and past, I will tell you, it is not necessary that each and every judge is well experienced and they are doing well. Some of them are, you know it better, some of them are not able to perform properly. At least for one of the Supreme Court judge, without naming anybody, you will surprise to note it, during his entire tenure as a Supreme Court judge, there was only 80 judgments. One Chief Justice of two states, before joining Supreme Court as a Chief Justice of 2 states, he was unable to write a single judgment. But he reaches up to Supreme Court. So it is not necessary that new or a fresh advocate would not be in a better position to do judicial duty. In cricket team also, bowler has a different expertise, batsman has a different expertise. Similarly, in every field, in every business, so far as trial court are concerned, some judges are good in simply recording more and more evidence. Some judges are good in disposing miscellaneous application very fast.
Yes.
So it is not necessary that everybody is 100% perfect. But we need, in army also, all are not equal, but we need a big army. So we need a big army of judicial officers where fresh advocates can certainly do better because they are not biased. On the contrary, I am saying in their favor, because advocates having 7 years or 10 years practice means they have a roots in society in the form of their clients, friends, relatives, juniors, and when they become a judge, this may be my personal opinion, but according to me, they are to some extent biased against some group of people, and they are tilting against some group of people. Whereas fresh lawyer, immediately after law graduation, if he becomes a judge, on the contrary, he will perform better duties than experienced advocate. Yes.
Yes, rightly said, sir. I am just remembered about the recent taking of oath by the 9 Supreme Court judges, sir. I think you must be aware of that. And I think that Mr. P.S. Narasimha, I think he is the person who was directly elevated as an advocate, as a senior advocate to Supreme Court judge. And also the recently retired Justice Indu Malhotra is an example. From the bar, they have off the bench. But I have also come to know that, as rightly said, Sachin Tendulkar was not Sachin Tendulkar from first ball, and during the span of time, he became the person he is, first person. But then, sir, because I have a very brief amount of experience practice of 5 years in Delhi High Court and Supreme Court and District Court. So what I have noticed is all of these young, judicial magistrates of junior division, either some are sitting in District Court, like in Delhi we have not District Court like Saket, Zari. So, but what I have seen in a personal experience, if say for example, a senior advocate named Mr. Abhishek Manu Singh ji or Kapil Sibal, he has to argue a matter or get a bail for his client before District Court. So that due weightage is not given to the judicial magistrate of junior division, because the senior advocates because senior advocates in the back of their mind, they know that this judge is the age of his son, and probably they start questioning their caliber also. A junior judge is judging a senior advocate. So they don't take it in a good light. And even if on second part, if they have not taken it in a good light, so that judgment is very prone to challenge and appeal before the higher court.
But there I find fault not with those advocate or the junior judicial officers who are young enough, but the fault is with the senior advocates and their mentality. And after passage of time, it is for a judicial officer to be careful that he must give equal treatment to senior advocate like Kapil Sibal or Manu Singhvi and a junior most advocate. So it is what you can say, our 5 fingers are not equal, 5 brothers may not be having same nature or behavior or face. You can't compare with them but you are right. Some senior advocates, with due respect, you may not be aware, I was there in Supreme Court for 7 years and I was conducting a court as a registrar where all interlocutory order which does not decide the matter finally, including it's not an administrative work, it's a judicial work.
Yeah.
And you will be surprised to note it, advocates could not dare to enter in my courtroom if they are not ready with the facts and details of the case. And I treat them equally. And I'm not boasting or I'm not saying something in my favor, but at least on 3 occasions, bar has rushed to the Chief Justice of India to complain against me that he is very strict, he do not listen to anybody. But on all 3 occasions, Chief Justice of India, the then Chief Justice of India said that no, he is Supreme Court. We have assigned him power and he is doing his judicial work. If you have any complaint or problem, file your appeal, because appeal is provided against my order.
Yes,
Against any of my judicial order, appeal is provided under Supreme Court rule. So Chief Justice of India said that you may file appeal, but we are not going to listen you on this chamber or administrative side. So if this support is given to judicial officer by higher authorities, I think senior advocate could not dare to ignore them.
right, sir. Right.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So, sir, now, sir, like switching on to the subject, like we discussed, like a lot of questions, like in general principles, like, what are the general views on the such laws, and one for the fact we have got to know that you are absolutely pro-advocate.
Your voice is not clear.
Yes. Is it clear now?
Yes, we are turning to question 5.
So we turn to question 6.
6. Okay. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So switching on to the subject of arbitration, sir, like, and like even I have just recently done my international arbitration, and even you are like acting as a consultant and an arbitration after retirement as a High Court judge. So, sir, I was just following a case because this case is not yet out in the public, and like the case has got a lot of public attention and media attention. And there was a small clipping in Indian Express which said that of Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. So he, in an open court, sir, he took a stand that like because of there was an argument like against a stand that arbitration procedure or ADR procedure, which was initially brought in to make speedy trials and inexpensive systems of litigation. So on the other hand, as you rightly said, like in this other interview, that a lot of arbitrators are retired Supreme Court judges or High Court judges. So and please apologize if I'm having a far-reaching impact. So I did not Yes, sir.
No, doesn't matter. We are talking freely. Don't worry.
Exactly. Yes, sir. So like the comment was made, but the Chandrachud is that since all of these arbitrators are retired High Court Supreme Court judges, so apart from, because in an arbitration act, an arbitrator is supposed to charge as per the act, as per the core schedule of the arbitration act. But like with a span of number of hearings and arbitration, adjournment proceedings, and like a simple arbitration is supposed to be conducted in 12 months, extension of 6 months maximum, which is 18 months. But rarely we see domestic arbitration completing in 18 months. And like the more the arbitration goes, the more fees the arbitrators charge. So parties are started questioning the very method of arbitration. So what do you have to say about that?
See, there cannot be clap by one hand. If you want to clap, you need 2 hands. So here also the problem or solution, whatever you say, is not in hand of either arbitrator or the rest of the world, is advocates and litigants. See, by and large, we have seen that either of the party in judicial proceeding wants to delay the proceeding for one or another reason. Either they want to confirm that whether they will get proper decision in their favor, or they are waiting for particular evidence or particular favorable things in their favor, some judgment, or by and large, I tell you, practically, we can say 75% work of judiciary or legal profession is with 25% of advocates. And 25% work of a dispute or everything, litigation, is with 75% of advocate. Means there is huge imbalance. So, if I am falling within that 25% advocates who are having 75% work, they are fully loaded. They don't have time to cope up with their work. Because of this, courts judgments gets delayed. Because of this, arbitration has been started. And see, this scenario is not different in arbitration also. In arbitration also, majority of the arbitrations are with limited judges for different reasons. Because of their friendship with the sitting judges, because of their, I will not say further, because of their this and that, closeness or readiness to this and that, anything. But majority of the arbitration is with limited judges. So there is imbalance. Now, so far as charges are concerned, Justice Chandrachud has rightly said that before this enactment where fees are scheduled, arbitration fees are now scheduled. Arbitrators are asking huge amount per sitting, and they want to increase the number of sitting because they are getting huge amount. They stay in 5-star hotel, they travel in air, this and that. But again, I tell you, when people wants to engage them, and when they don't have time, certainly they will ask for their charges. If there is a cap, now there is cap through statute that arbitrator should not have more than n number of cases. He should, with every new arbitration, he has to disclose that how many arbitrations are pending with him. He cannot charge more than fees which is scheduled in the act. But in the same judgment, I have gone through it. In the same judgment, it is ultimately it is held that it is not mandatory. It is only directory. Those fees, it is not mandatory.
Yes.
So again, the arbitrator can charge heavy amount. But so far as, see, it is the same thing. Why advocates are engaging Abhishek Manu Singhvi or Kapil Sibal or Harish Salve? Are you aware what they are charging?
Somewhat, yes, sir.
5 to 10 lakhs, 11, 10 lakhs per sitting.
Yes.
They are not cheating with the clients. They don't argue. I will not name any of them, but you will surprise to note it. One of the senior advocate before the Supreme Court, his clerk is using Mercedes. A car costing more than 40 lakhs. Clerk of a senior advocate. And his duty is not to take care of file legal issues. He simply has to manage that in which case argument is to be made or in which case date is to be asked for. This by either side. If other side is asking date, if not asking, other side is not asking date, they will not remain present. If other side is asking date, they will just make a show and then matter adjourn. I'm saying it with all pain and everything. The clerk has to manage that how the cases are adjourned. And those 5 to 10 lakhs are charged. But corporate houses, big people, they pay it and therefore they are charging it. Similar is with the arbitrator. Corporate houses and big companies are paying those charges. So they are charging it.
Yes, sir.
And now Supreme Court has said that it is not mandatory. So it is a vicious circle.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely.
I tell you simply, we may have a meal at some 100 rupees also, but we go to 5-star hotel, it may be in thousands also. But we on some occasion or we select it.
Exactly. Absolutely. Matter of personal choice, sir.
Matter of personal choice.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes. So that brings me to my another question. So because again, taking, you have already explained that you are so pro advocates with 10 plus years experience. So do you think that that advocates can also replace these experienced arbitrators acting as arbitrators in arbitration?
Certainly. People or litigants should appoint advocates as an arbitrator. Now, so far as this NCLT concerned, are you aware that in under that bank code, what is called initially only charter accountant and those are allowed to take over the company through court. Now advocates are permitted. So advocates are not may not be good administrator or they don't have technical knowledge to run any company. But to take care of a company and to see that there is no illegality, even advocates are now permitted. So advocacy is, and according to me, advocate means, if we say it in Hindi, sab bandar ke vyapari. Means advocacy means you must be aware about each and every subject. It may be technical, commercial, economical, social. We can't say that I don't know technology. We have to read it. We have to digest it. So advocate can certainly work as an arbitrator.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Perfect, sir. Yes, sir. And sir, can I'm just have an apprehension that can such advocate also if such laws are passed in the future and there is a appointment of 10-30 years of advocate as a judicial member, so can they also help in reducing the pendency of cases and For example, there are a lot of tribunals in Delhi, especially, which are not functioning without any quorum, like PMLA, SAFM, all the appeals are pending. Then the clients are supposed to approach High Court and take status quo order. So can they also help towards,
Again, I tell you, to curb the pendency, it is again a vicious circle. The advocates has to start a courage to say no to their clients that, look, you don't have any good case, settle it, compromise it, compare it. I will give you only one example. Under company law, after IPO means IPO, means after you are applying for when you have started your company and equity shares are brought to the market, if you receive application more than your number of shares, those additional amount cannot be utilized by you. Which is to be refunded to the public, BPO, right? IPO. And so one of the company has rightly, wrongly, by mistake or intentionally used some amount from that additional fund and did not pay refund to all. One of their officer was under impression that let us prepare the paper, don't send the money, whoever complains, we will give them money, otherwise we can utilize those money. But there were 6,000 complaints against the company before the company registrar, and therefore criminal case was initiated against the company. That case was pending before the Chief Judicial Magistrate for more than 5 years. Out of 11 accused, on different occasions, different accused for one or other reason could not remain present and matter never proceeded further. At one point of time, when there was a warrant against some of the accused, I was practicing in High Court, but somebody has approached me to cancel that warrant. You will be surprised to note it. Now I am retired, I will say it openly. It is 25 years back. I have charged 1 lakh rupees before 25 years. And you will be surprised to note it. I have, after charging 1 lakh rupees, I have not only advised, but I make them to admit the guilt and to pay the penalty. I have not fight the case. So this courage is required. That when there is no case, don't try unnecessarily for unlimited period. At one point of time, it is for the advocate who has to decide that his client doesn't have a good case or he is not telling the truth. He must suffer. If this courage is there within advocates, then it may be narcotic, foreign exchange, money laundering, or any type of pendency. There is no issue, because all these words, narcotic and foreign exchange and money laundering, are only to make the people, what you can say, feel guilty or feel something against such words or such act. Otherwise, all acts are all acts. It is statutory provisions that you can't do this. See, in Gujarat, liquor is prohibited. Now in Bihar, it is prohibited.
Yes.
So it is simple that if you consume liquor in open, you will be punished. But if you say that no, I will consume liquor and I should not be punished, it is not possible.
Yes. So, with all due respect, I think you also know what is the true reality in all these places where liquor are prohibited. People still consume liquor and people still die out of drinking more of alcohol. I am originally from Bihar, so I know.
No, but there at least, see, entire world is having liquor, using liquor or having that habit. But here it is a statutory provision that if you consume liquor, you will be punished. Now, can I say that, oh, no, I will consume liquor, but I should not be punished? That mentality is different.
Yes.
Knowing fully well that liquor will harm our health, cigarette will harm, smoking will harm our health, junk food will harm our health, excess TV or movie will harm our health. We doing it, it's a different thing. But when statute restricts you, prohibits you, you can't say that you are above the statute, but I may not be punished. Yes. An advocate, if advocate says that okay, you have, though you have consumed liquor, I will see that you are acquitted. Do you follow?
Okay, sir. Yes, absolutely.
At some point of time, it is for the advocates to come forward with a saying to their client that you have no case, settle it. Which I have done in that company case. After charging my fees, I have not only advised, I make them to admit the guilt. Otherwise, you will be in jail. Admit the guilt, pay the penalty, and put an end to this 5 years of litigation. But if I continue to examine witnesses and then after conviction filing an appeal, and then that case will drag for 10-15 years. During those time, few accused would be maybe died. We should not think of anybody's death, but somebody. So that is the.
And the reality. But as rightly said, as advocates, they should learn to say no when they have a bad case in hand. And such advocates should probably advise the client that if you have a bad case in hand, so it's better you enter into other more settlements like negotiation, conciliation, and you sign a settlement agreement.
Exactly.
But again, I feel like there are a lot of senior advocates because such clients who has a bad case, they generally approach all the senior advocates, all these big names like Salve, Singhi, and all these people. So and senior advocate's job is to make bad case a good case, and this will win the case.
No. I tell you, no senior or no advocate, nobody in the world can change the bad case in the good case. It is only here. I will. I don't know whether you are aware about it, but in Gujarati we are saying it the Panchtantras, stories of Panchtantras. Or have you read a story about 6 blind and an elephant? No. It would be appropriate not for you but for the viewers also. The scenario is based upon this story. There was an elephant and there were 6 blind person. Somebody has asked them that, look, what is this? Bringing them near the elephant. Now, the blind person, wherever they touch the elephant, whatever they feel, they say, whoever somebody come in contact of a tail, then he said, oh, elephant is a threat. The blind who come in contact of a leg, he said, oh, elephant is like a thumb or pole. Somebody come in contact of a ear, elephant's ear is very big. So what is the typical word for that? Supadi means a typical utensil used in at least in Gujarati house to clean the grain. By which that utensil, grain is being cleaned. So that it is a supadi. Similarly, whoever has came before different situation, their perception is different.
So, sir, coming to the conclusion of the interview, and sir, from where we started is discussing about the Tribunals Reforms Act 2020 and how we got to know about your views that you are pro advocate acting as a judicial member. So, sir, what do you, because since even I'm a young advocate and I'm probably in next 4 years of time, I'm going to reach 10 years of, standing in the bar. So what will be your advice to young advocates like us, who already have a law firm job? So what would be your advice, to leave a law firm job and come to the judicial side of practice and how to attain the balance between the bar and the bench?
See, I will advise all the young lawyers to try to join judiciary at the earliest. But in judiciary, the seats are limited, so all advocates may not be accommodated. So don't leave your present job, but keeping that job or working with corporate or working as an independent advocate or working with any senior advocate, try to join judiciary. Judiciary is always in need of good judges and more judges. So far as my knowledge is, my information is concerned, almost in each state, if there is vacancy of 100 judges and if that recruitment process is started, many a times that recruitment process could not select 100 judges. Though applicants are more than 1,000 or in some thousands, even if applicants are 10,000, it is difficult to select 100 of them. For reasons are different. Mainly one, merits. Second, interview, they do not cope up with the interview with local language or with the other things. And I tell you, judgeship or a service as a judicial officer is not a luxury. No doubt now salaries are good, facilities are good, powers are good, but it is not a luxurious job. It is a laborious job. It is a job with full pressure. If you don't work properly, you may have a pressure from politicians, pressure from administration, pressure from your relatives or friends, pressure within judiciary. Some judges may also pressurize you. But from day one, you have to make it clear that I will not take pressure from anybody and I will do whatever I think proper. Because if you do anything wrong, it would be corrected in appeal. You don't have to bother for it. But if you don't do anything proper, or if you do anything in pressure of somebody, then you commit a mistake. And that mistake in future, see today if you listen some either one politician or one judge, as soon as they are not in power, there will be a label upon you that you are person of X or you are person of Y or you are person of X party, and it will hinder your progress. But you have rightly asked, new advocates should try to join judiciary. Judiciary is in need of good judges and more judges. Only corporate service is not enough. This is one thing. And the second thing, which I have already said, that young advocates should come forward in society saying no to their client. That no, look, I don't want your fees. I don't want your case, because you are either not telling truth or because your case is weak and you have no case. And advise them to settle the dispute either through court or through advocate or through ADR system. This is called chamber practice. I have done it. You will be surprised to note it because of my this mentality or attitude. My father, in fact, I am in 6th generation of practice. My father, his father, his father, his father, his father, all were in legal profession. Even my son today is as an advocate in his legal profession. He is in 7th generation. But out of these all generations, even today in my family, there are 10 advocates. But as a young advocate, I have started to say no to my clients, that you have no case, I will not take your brief. With due respect, I tell you, my father and my brother was not happy because of this attitude. But ultimately, it pays me. Because after 1 or 2 years, there was an image in an entire district that look, if SGSI accept the case, it means we will win. If SGSI refuse to accept the case, we have no case. So, do you follow? In my district where I was practicing, I have a very good image, and people were saying that if SGSI myself has accepted the brief, means we are certainly going to help, and it helps me because I think after me there was a application everything, but till my joining judiciary we don't have to apply. I am directly selected as a district judge. We don't have to apply. Judiciary call us, Chief Justice call us and ask us to join judiciary. I have refused this for 2 years. In 95, 96 I have refused to join judiciary. In 97 I have joined it for different reasons, because I want to computerize the judiciary. I have computerized all entire judiciary sitting in Delhi for 7 years. But today, as we are talking on this Zoom, I have utilized such software in 2006. I have never traveled outside India, outside Supreme Court. I have never traveled outside Delhi. I have contacted 4,500 stations and 17,000 courts sitting in Supreme Court. So young advocate must come forward. Yes?
Yes, sir. You have brought in a revolution, sir. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Sir, with this, we come to an end of this interview, sir. It was lovely having you, sir. And thank you for your precious time, sir. We'll certainly be in touch, sir. And we encourage more such retired personnel and esteemed person like you to come and give us an interview and guide all the youngsters in joining the bar.
Sure.
Thank you again, sir. Thank you again for having us.
Thank you.